Welcome back to another episode of the Evo 6 STI Killer presented by Koyorad. With the engine out, it is time to move on to the rear end. If you guys haven't watched the previous episode, we pulled the motor out. It's definitely a good one, go watch it. But today we are moving on to the rear end in hopes of dropping this out and then prepping this chassis for a little bit of rust cleanup. As you can see, this whole area needs a lot of attention. It's just surface rust, but maybe you guys can post in the comments, let me know what's the best way to remove this. I know a wire wheel is good, but that looks like it's gonna take us a long time to sit here and go through this whole thing. Sandblasting would be great, but we're in a shop that is not good to do that in. So let me know if you've got some suggestions. By all means, I'm all ears. And the subframe, just like the front, it's rusted, but not too bad. Like, it's just surface rust in most areas. So I think without further ado, we are gonna get these wheels off and start unbolting stuff.
Just taking the BBSs off the Evo here. I know some of you guys really like them when we test fit them on the car, but these were never gonna be the actual wheels we run on it, and frankly, I'm not that sad to see them go. I love BBS wheels, but to me, this is like a European style wheel, and I want like a true JDM wheel on what is a very cool JDM car. So, and I also think they're a bit too matchy-matchy, like this light silver center with the light silver paint. It just kind of blends in too much.
You're right.
So I'm not a big fan of the color combination either. Awesome wheel, just not for this project, in my opinion. So off they go. And as a matter of fact, didn't I see you had some wheels show up recently?
I do, DP, I do. Overnight parts from Japan have arrived, and boy, oh boy, do these wheels look badass. But guess what? I'm not gonna reveal them, no. I'm saving them for later. This is the best look you're gonna get at them. I will tell you, they are an 18/9 plus 30 offset. And check out the brakes. Oof. This area here is gonna need a lot of work. Like, these are, I've never seen brakes this faded. Look at this.
Well, PT, I think we're discovering some more things about your Evo 6 back here, and one of which is, it's built like a tank, isn't it? Like, this fuel filler neck shield is made of like heavy duty steel, which I assume is to protect it during like rally stages and things like that. As a matter of fact, this car may have seen some rally stages. Look at this. Look at this, buddy. You were carrying around 5 pounds of, I was gonna say Japanese dirt, but I'm guessing this is actually from like Alberta or Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
It's lived a hard life previously. We don't really know the full history of it, do we? But she has seen some action, and man, the nuts and bolts in the back end are super rusty. We are fighting with every single one of them to get them out.
We've only busted one.
We've only busted one. We've been lucky, but we've sprayed everything liberally with like a rust penetrant, and that I think has helped somewhat. But we're just having to be really patient and use the impact where we can, because that seems to work better on rusty bolts. In any case, we kind of...
Show them the filler neck.
Oh, the filler neck, yeah.
The filler neck here is, whoa.
She is not looking too good here. This is where the shield sat, and it just trapped moisture around this neck, so it is really rotten. And you can see up here, it's like there's a cover on it that's sort of split open. It's held on with zip ties, so I feel like somebody who was not a factory certified mechanic was doing some work back here.
No, I think that's a factory thing, man. I'm telling you.
Really?
Yeah, back there, I think so. Anyways, wanted to buy Evo 6 filler neck.
Yes, indeed. This thing is
for sure. I'm looking for that. And the other issue I've run into is I can't get these
your AYC lines.
AYC lines off.
Yeah.
They're not too rusted there, but over here, man, they're like super rusty in there. I've almost rounded one, so I think we
don't have the right size flare tool, so
we're just gonna let it sit too. Let that oil creep in there.
Yeah, I've sprayed a couple of other bolts over there that we're gonna let soak overnight. So I think that is a wrap for today. Let's things soak, and then we're back at it tomorrow.
We are back at it here, and we've let everything soak overnight. And it looks like there is some progress happening. I've managed to crack this line loose on this side here. So let's see if my rust proof, oh my goodness, look at that. That just went, holy smokes, that was way easier than I expected. So thankfully, I was worried we're gonna wreck these lines, but these are coming out easy. And now I think when I remove these, I think we're ready to actually take this thing down. So on to that. I don't know if this is bad luck or what, but literally the last bolt holding the subframe up is seized. All the other bolts came out fine, and this one right here, I've got my Milwaukee fuel. I think this was what, 1,400 foot-pounds in reverse?
Something like that, yeah. It's mega power.
Watch this. It's on, pushing up.
Wow.
Guys, it is not moving. I definitely don't want to snap that bolt. That's a nightmare because that goes into the chassis. So I think I'm going to put some heat into it, use the bolt buster here, see if that loosens it up a bit. But man, fingers crossed that this guy comes out. Had to turn up the level here to 10. I've got the acetylene torch out and I'm heating this whole area. And fingers crossed that it's just a matter of a seized bolt. I did see, problem is, the bolt goes through the chassis, and then in the chassis there's an opening where the bolt goes through, and that's where a lot of, I'm sure, surface rust is built up. So hopefully this will work out for me. Just gonna put a bunch more heat into it, and cross your fingers, people. I don't know if the car's on fire or what, but holy smokes, there's so much smoke, TP. All right, let's see if I can, oh, now this thing's in the way. Come on, sway bar. Oh, this doesn't help. All right. Yes! Oh my God. You see how much debris there is?
Yeah.
Oh. Holy crap.
Well, that's loose.
I'll show you the bolt in a second, but it's pretty much ruined. Look at this bolt still. Ah, it's hot. It's like seized in there. I can't get it out at all. What is going on? Jesus.
Yeah.
Holy. Guys, she's a hot one. Look. I mean, that just goes to show the acetylene torch worked really well. But you want to talk about something being seized.
Don't burn yourself on that.
I know, but I just want to show you guys. Like, look at the head. It got like fully destroyed, so we'll need a new bolt, but wow. I'm thankful that came out. All right. So the only hiccup we have here are the AYC lines that I've disconnected. They look like they're gonna clear here, so let's start coming down with this. Nice and slow. Oh, it's caught. Oh, I see what's happening here. See, this is a weird thing, Dave.
These control arms?
Yeah, these control arms, like, because this is right in the way of the filler neck,
Yeah.
it makes it really difficult to like clear any of this, to get this out.
Yeah, wow.
Now, here we go. All right, so that's out. So this should come out here, and there's these weird plates. Like, check these plates out. So these plates aren't a part of the chassis, but they bolt to the subframe, and then this upper control arm bolts through it. So it's kind of a weird system. But okay, with that out, I think we're golden here.
The other side too? Is that arm hooked on the other side?
Yeah, it's caught right here. You're right. All right, go on. Get out of the way here. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh yeah. Get my AYC lines out of the way here. And there we go, guys. Subframe is coming down. Wow, it's a unique design here. Check that out. So it's aluminum cross member, and then it's got these steel reinforcements on both sides with bushings here, here, there, and there. So interesting. It's time to blow up this entire subframe, but before we get to that, I wanted to show you the Easter egg that I just found in the back of this car. We just dropped the BC Racing rear coilovers, and wow, this looks like a pretty standard strut bar until you see this. For those of you that know what this means. This is the best of the best. Mines.
Isn't that a Nissan tuner? What they didn't make Evo parts?
They made Evo parts.
I think that's a generic strut bar with a Mine sticker on it, bro. You're busted.
Blasphemy.
You are busted.
Don't even. I'm calling Mines up tomorrow just to make sure.
I'm pretty sure they never made an Evo 6 strut
yes,
tower
they did.
bar.
They had Evo parts. I'm
Come
telling
on.
you. Mines was all about
Tell us
that.
in the
They
comment
weren't just
section,
a
everybody.
Nissan tuner.
You set this guy straight. Set him straight, everybody. Just like that, the rear end is fully disassembled, and it wasn't actually too bad of a job, was it, Pete? It was,
it was
have
pretty
any
simple.
bolts really fight us on it, all cracked loose. The ball joints were violent. If not for the time lapse, you might have seen one arm go flying through the air when it popped loose on me, but I don't think we got that on film. There are some issues though. Most notably, these upper control arms are actually quite badly cracked right here on both of them.
Wow, I did not notice that before.
So we're going to talk to Vin at NV Auto to see if maybe those can be welded back up or not, or if we'll need to replace this whole piece, which would kind of suck if we had to do that. Although the ball joints are all worn out on all of the arms, and there's 3 per side. There's a lot of ball joints.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to order some new ones.
Yeah,
I think there's some aftermarket options. So
okay. And other than that, I mean, we've got some other big bushings worn out. Like these ones are actually torn. But luckily for us, Super Pro makes replacement bushings for most of these attachment points in the rear end. So as you can see, we've just kind of laid out what we have from Super Pro to make sure we've got what we need. And while we were looking at all the parts numbers and stuff, I noticed on this one, it says Mazda /Mitsubishi, confirming my protege theory, everyone.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm calling this the Protogevo now. It's the Protogevo, everyone. It's a new car. We've invented it here today. And I should also
won't let it go, will
No,
ya?
I will not let it go. And I should also mention the Super Pro stuff we have used in the Miata and the STI. And man, we've been so happy with the ride quality that these deliver. They take a lot of slop and play out of the suspension without adding all the typical NVH or ride harshness that we've experienced in the past from polyurethane bushing. So Superpro's really made some advancements in the technology, in the actual, science of making bushings, to the point where really I don't feel like there's any downside anymore. I used to really dislike them, and now I'm a huge fan because we're taking out slop without adding harshness. So really impressed with these, and we'll show you how these all get installed in a future episode once we get all this stuff disassembled, blasted, in some cases coated, and repaired, welded up, and all that kind of stuff that needs to happen. So stay tuned for that. Speaking of blasting and cleaning up, I think maybe that's our next step here, PT. There you have it, everyone. A small sampling of the filth that we just washed off this old Evo 6. This was not a deep steam cleaning. This was just a power wash off the East Coast mintiness of this machine. And it does look a lot better for it, I have to say. It's really, the engine bay and the underside of the car is in good shape. There wasn't a lot of grease and grime on it. It's just got that light bit of surface rust, which obviously this is not going to treat. We're going to deal with that later. But at least we have a nice sort of clean base to work from, and the engine as well got a bit of a power wash, because next episode we're going to tear this thing down. So that is a wrap on this episode, everyone. Thank you very much for watching, and we do have a couple of small trim pieces that we're going to strip off the car to go to paint. So maybe we'll close the episode with a little time lapse of that action, but stay tuned for engine teardowns coming in the next one.